through this session and through all of my sessions, and anytime I'm working with kids, I'm thinking, how do I help develop 21st century skills, these employability skills? We should always be thinking about these: critical thinking, problem solving, communication. We talk about these all the time, but are we aware of our lessons? When we are planning our lessons, are we thinking, how do I get more collaboration? How do I get our kids to be more creative? The last one on the list here, perseverance. I like to share this one, especially with kids, actually more with adults than kids. Kids are actually pretty good, but perseverance, right? A lot of times when we're using technology in particular, is when I'm using the technology, then people are like, oh, this is so different. It's something that I'm not used to doing, and they give up. And with our students, we're going to be asking them to do a lot of things. They're constantly learning a lot of new things as well. And so when they're learning new things, they may not persevere. And so today, I may be asking you, or I will be asking you guys to participate in some activities. Don't give up, persevere, try your best, and just know that for whatever we do, trying your best is all we're asking. We're going to learn. Even if we're making mistakes, we're going to learn from that.
I think another thing is just building that mindset, right? That we're all here to learn and grow together. Like that's how I started, the year. And I said, we're all going to make mistakes. Even I make mistakes, right? So I think just having them realize that on their own, that already builds the culture. And that's the start of it. And then again, it's just more practice, right? The more they do it, the more comfortable they become. So I know at first, right, doing breakout rooms on Google Meet, right? Like nobody was talking, like there's one person dominating the whole conversation. So it's giving them those opportunities to do it, again and again with different classmates. Maybe sometimes, seeing a familiar face, a familiar classmate might motivate them more to get involved and participate. And then that boosts their confidence, right? So giving them those extra practice opportunities and then just guiding them along the way and saying it's okay. Like it's okay, at first if you want to keep your camera off, and then going from there, they feel more comfortable.
And I think as teachers,
oh, sorry, Nicole, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as teachers, we need that repetition too, in order, to learn how to use these strategies online. So breakout rooms were scary at first, and I needed to try it multiple times so that I got comfortable with it. Go ahead, Duff.
I was going to say, I think Jen set me up there. I don't know why. I thought we were friends, but when you talk about the growth mindset and then you talk about the breakout rooms, I distinctly remember being so excited. Like I had this breakout room activity and, like I set it all up and I was like, this is going to be amazing. And then it wasn't. It fell flat on its face. And I had to tell the students like, see, like, look, I thought this was going to be great and it didn't work out. And, like as frustrating, I think, as it was, then I looked out for other resources, like how could I have done this better, right? That self-reflection part on a teacher. And I saw Whitney Aragaki from Waikea High School. She had this article about, allowing students to choose how they wanted to participate in breakout rooms. So the next time I did it, it was a lot more successful because students could choose, like, do I want to participate with my camera on and my mic on? Do I want to participate with my camera on and chat? Do I only want to chat? But I also did one more where, students could just do a Jamboard and they were leaving each other Post-its and I could see like the flurry of the brainstorming happening. And so what I found from that is, something that you think is going to be amazing could be, but it may also require a little bit of tweaking for your own students. But I think the students were willing to try more often with me after that, when I could freely just admit, look, this didn't work. And then you helped me make it better. So one student said, it would help me if I knew more of my classmates. Like they all seem to know each other, but I don't. And so I got another strategy from another teacher where they kind of, they did an example of I hesitate to say icebreaker because the students all roll their eyes in high school, but it's essentially icebreaker. You just call it something else, right? Or a get to know you activity, or just an engaging activity overall. And so I modeled one, and then I asked the students to pair off, and every day after that, a student group led an activity for the class, and then they got to know each other more, and I think they got leadership opportunities, and it really helped our class to bond. And when something didn't go right, they all reminded each other, it's like, well, Kaji did it, so like it's okay to screw up. Like, okay, I guess so, but you know, like I think those kinds of things are important, and I really appreciate having teachers like all of you and all of the amazing teachers in our state being willing to try all these new things, because it's super scary. And even as a, I hate to say veteran because I don't think I'm that old, but you know, as a veteran teacher, it was really scary to pivot. Oh wait, I used the word we're not supposed to all use already, the overused word. But it was really scary to try all these new things because I didn't do hardly any of these digital tools. And to try it this year in front of students without really practicing it first was really scary, but I think I've learned a lot and I plan on using a lot of it next year as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah. You brought me right back to the first week of school, and I tried this like back to school escape room with my advisory class, and like none of the links worked because I, of course, like they were linked to YouTube and the kids had YouTube blocked on their Chromebooks, and like it was a disaster. And I learned so much from it, and it was so humbling to tell the kids like, whoa, that was not good. But we could only go up from there.